Look at that. They really did make a fire right in front of the shack.
Oh, Mr. Nick.
You're too late, Nick.
You gave me our potatoes. We've already polished them all off.
I think I pretty much got all the evidence I need. Now I just need to find out where Pearls is hiding. We're about to find out. After dinner on the night of the murder, you were supposed to be in Elise Denham's room, reading a book together, correct?
Yes, I was so happy when she invited me, but I didn't go in the end.
You didn't go?
No, there was somewhere else I had to go instead. I was so worried I had to go. I didn't know what to do with myself. I was so nervous.
So Pearls never went to Miss Denham's room because she was too worried about something or someone else. Pearls? On the night of the murder, you went to this place, didn't you? You went here, didn't you, Pearls? Looks like she's still not going to open up to me. This is where you went because you were so worried, right? Then the next question is, who or what were you so worried about? I'm gonna take a guess, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, okay?
You mean you know?
If I'm right, will you tell me the whole truth?
Okay.
You went to this place for one very simple reason, and that is... It's obvious what you were so worried about, Pearls. It was Maya, wasn't it?
Ah!
You knew the training Maya was undertaking was dangerous. After all, it was a special course. I signed up for your special course.
Well, my, quite brave of you considering how cold it is. Young people can be so reckless with their health. Don't blame me if you become one with those you channel.
Sister beginning scared you with what she said, didn't she? And because it was you who introduced Haskrat Temple to Maya in the first place, you felt responsible, didn't you?
Thinking about what could happen to Miss Maya made me more and more worried. I couldn't sit still at all. That's why I decided to go and find out how she was doing at the inner temple.
Then we're clear now that you went to the inner temple that night, Pearls. What's not clear is what happened after that. About what time was it when you headed over to the inner temple?
It was probably around 9:30 when I left the main hall. I heard the real training was supposed to start at 10. I wanted to get there before it started, but there was so much snow, so I didn't get there until after 10 o'clock.
Until after 10? How did you know what time it was?
Because I heard the bell ringing for lights out.
She heard the lights out bell? The Haskrat Temple bell is pretty small though, isn't it? You must have really good hearing. You must have really good hearing.
I was really trying to pick up the sound of that bell, that's all. I didn't want to miss it. That would be terrible.
She was trying to hear the bell. Tell me, Pearls, why were you so worried about hearing that bell?
Huh?
I think I know why. The reason you were so worried about that bell was because of this. Where is it now? You were given some instructions to follow that night, weren't you? I presume you recognize these pieces of paper?
Ah! Where did you...
In the incinerator of the inner temple. Pearls, you were following the instructions in this letter that night, weren't you? That's why you can't afford to miss the sound of the lights out bell.
I'm speechless, Mr. Nick. You're amazing.
These instructions that were found in the incinerator, I believe they were written for you, Pearls.
For me? No.
As you can see, a large portion has been burnt, but the last section is still fairly legible. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. Who was it, Pearls? Whose spirit were you supposed to be channeling? Taking into account the author of the note and their purpose for writing it, whose spirit would Pearls have been trying to channel? Don't overthink it, Phoenix. It's pretty obvious who Pearls was supposed to channel. The person you were trying to channel that night, Pearls, was Dahlia Hawthorne. It was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it? That was the name that was in the letter. Oh! It's just as I expected. It wasn't Iris whose sister Bikini met at the dinner table that night. It was Dahlia Hawthorne. Do you know anything about her, Pearls? Do you know what kind of a woman Dahlia Hawthorne was?
No. I never heard of anyone by that name before reading those instructions.
I thought so. Pearls doesn't have a clue. She doesn't know that Dahlia is her sister. About the instructions in the letter I found, Pearls, who wrote them? Whoever it was asked you to channel the spirit of someone you never heard of. You must have quite a lot of respect for them. After all, you followed their instructions without question. So here's my next question. Who wrote this set of instructions for you to follow? Was it perhaps your mother? Pearls, I have to wonder about something. You didn't have any idea what these instructions meant, did you? But you followed them to the letter regardless. Why? Because it was your own mother who asked you, that's why. How did you? I figured it out. The person who wrote you this letter was your own mother, Morgan Fay. Wow! Alright, Pearls, it's time you started telling me the truth.
Mr. Nick,
Why is she holding back from me? I don't like this.
don't underestimate me just because I'm a child.
Huh?
If you're trying to say I followed these instructions, that seems to prove.
What?
Because I don't think you have any.
She'd say anything rather than meant to carry out those instructions. I guess I'll have to produce some more evidence then. One more thing should do it. Alright, Pearls. We both know someone carried out those instructions on the night of the murder. But you're right. There's no evidence that proves it was you.
I knew it.
However, I do know that whoever did it was a child.
Huh? How'd you know that?
It couldn't have been an adult. No adult would have made a simple mistake like that.
Simple mistake? What do you mean by that?
I'm sure you thought you were carefully following the instructions you've been given, but you misunderstood some of the words, and this is the evidence that proves it. It was you who splattered gravy on this hanging scroll, wasn't it?
Ah! What? Why would I do something like that?
Do you remember what was written in that letter? Gravely roast the master in the fires of Hades and bring our vengeance to fruition? But you didn't know how to read the words gravely and roast among others, right?
How'd you know that?
Remember the conversation you had with Miss Denham on the night of the murder?
Perhaps we could read some books together.
Really? I'd love to. I'm not very good at reading.
Haha, well then, would you like to practice reading with me?
Miss Elise, so, for example, how do you read this?
It says gravely. That's kind of a tough word.
Sure, Miss Denham taught you how to read gravely and roast, but what she didn't teach you is what they meant.
Gravely sounded like gravy to me, and the only roast I could think of was the food.
Man. Is this case long, or... Oh, God. Reaching the 2-hour mark, yeah, so... It's just fucking... Just doesn't end. That's why he did it. That's why he covered the picture of the master in gravy from that night's pot roast.
To be honest, I did think it was a bit strange. I guess I really did get the wrong idea.
Just a tiny bit.
I really am useless. I couldn't even burn the letter properly as my mother had asked of me. Such a simple thing, and I couldn't even do it right.
Oh, Pearls.
It was written right in my mother's letter. It said, as soon as we heard the lights out bell, we must channel her spirit. It was on my way over to the inner temple when I heard the bell ring.
So you challenged Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit?
No, I tried, but I couldn't do it.
You can do it.
I've never failed at channeling someone. This is the first time it's happened. I tried and I tried and I tried. Yesterday, this morning, the whole time. But I just couldn't do it.
Don't let it get you down, Pearl. It won't work out. Whoosh, just like that. So you never managed to channel the spirit. Is that why you think your spiritual powers are gone?
Yes, I don't know what to do.
Isn't there any other explanation for why you couldn't channel the spirit?
I suppose there's one other possibility. It's not very likely, though.
Can you please tell me what it is anyway?
It could happen if someone else was already channeling the same spirit.
Someone else? What do you mean?
Well, there's only one of each spirit, right?
Yup, it's like dating a girl, Nick. You can't see a hot cheek if she's already taken. And that would mean on the night of the murder, someone else channeled her spirit before Pearls could. Someone else challenged the spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne.
I'm a failure. I couldn't even grant my mother's final wish.
Her final wish?
Yes, this is my last wish, she said. So make sure you follow the instructions carefully.
This letter, I definitely need to find out more about it.
My mother has gone to a place called the penitentiary.
Yeah, I know, Pearls.
I visit her every month. And last month she told me the time we've been waiting for has come, Pearl. There's something I need you to do for me. I had a letter for you at our home before they brought me here. I want you to read it and do exactly what it says. It's for the good of the Fae Clan, my angel. You'll be doing a great thing. Now listen carefully, and I'll tell you where the letter's hidden. My mother is always nice to me. I love her very much.
Yeah, moms will do anything for their kids, right?
She said it was for the good of the Fae Clan, so I knew I had to help her. I mean, Mystic Maya is part of the Fae Clan, so it had to be good for her too. That's right, isn't it, Mr. Nick?
I guess so, yeah.
There was a picture with her letter too.
A picture?
Of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Usually a picture is enough to challenge someone's spirit, but this time...
Pretty weird, huh? Like Larry knows anything about this stuff.
There was something else that was strange about my mother's letter. The seal on it was broken, as if someone had already opened it once before.
That sure is pretty strange. Someone had to open it already?
After dinner that night, I did go to the inner temple with a pot full of the leftover gravy.
The gravy?
I saw the picture on the hanging scroll near the sacred cavern. I was sure it was the master of Kurain, like it said in the letter.
I see. And then?
Well, it was already way past 10 when I got there because of all the snow, so I went to the inner temple guest area.
The guest area?
Yes, I thought I could wait there until the training was over.
Why don't you just go to the training hall?
Because Mystic Maya's main training had already started, and I couldn't interrupt it. So I just stayed where I was and prayed for her to get through it. But then,
Pearls, did you fall asleep?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I just couldn't help it.
Hey, don't worry about it, Pearl. Who cares if you fell asleep? I fall asleep waiting for ice too. It happens. Anyway, then you found yourself trapped at the inner temple.
Yes, when I woke up, it was morning. I tried not to cry, but Dusky Bridge wasn't there anymore and there was no one in the training hall. I thought everyone had left me because I overslept. I threw the letter into the incinerator and ate it up leftover gravy and...
Let off some steam by checking the gravy on the scroll while you cried. Huh.
It must have been pretty scary for you, Pearl.
I know what it's like. Nick used to leave me behind when I fell asleep at school too. Don't equate something so trivial with your experience, Larry. Thanks, Pearls. You really helped me out.
You're very welcome. My mother is watching over us, so I'm sure Mystic Maya will be alright.
Look at that instant smile on her face. What am I supposed to say to her? Ha! Huh.
Finally figured it out, have you, Trite? You finally realize how terrible of a crime being painfully oblivious is.
Godot!
The entrance of the Sacred Cavern looks like a freaking puzzle workshop.
He's talking about Iris and lock-breaking effort.
But it's all a waste of time.
Why do you say that?
Because my Faye isn't coming back.
What? You don't know what you're talking about. How can you say something like that?
It was your job to protect her, right? Just like it was your job to protect me and Faye. Two sisters, caught up in the worst circumstances.
I realize that, but
And you were the only one who was by their sides. You were the only one who could have saved them.
I didn't know anything about what was going on.
Huh. What did I just say, Trite? Being oblivious is a heinous crime in itself. Tomorrow, we'll settle everything in court tomorrow. Once and for all. Mr. Nick? Is what that man just said true?
It'll be alright, Pearls. I'm sure Maya's alive. You'll see for yourself tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. I know I can trust you, Mr. Nick.
My dear Pearl, you've done so well, my child. My Pearl. It's better that you don't know what you've done. I knew this day would come for you. The flag of the main family is no more. No, finally, after all this time, the Master's seed is yours. My last great wish. It seems I was just in time. To be continued, my precious.
Good morning. Oh, are you by yourself?
Morning, Pearls.
Mr. Nick, please tell me, what's going to happen to Miss Maya?
I'm sorry, we don't know yet. The investigation is still going on, so I wasn't allowed into the inner temple.
Oh, I see. So is Sister Iris still trying to remove those locks in the trading hall?
No, she's a defendant in this case, so she can't be in the inner temple. She's required to be here in court.
Then how come she's not here in the defendant's lobby?
I have to admit, it's kind of strange.
If you're looking for Iris, she's in the prosecutor's lobby.
Right? Edgeworth! What's Iris doing over there?
She's going over today's testimony with the prosecutor as we speak.
Today's testimony?
You heard me. Iris is going to be testifying as a witness for the prosecution.
Wait, what?
The prosecutor is squeezing her for a confession. Or so I heard.
Franziska von Karma, what are you up to?
I know what you're thinking, but Franziska isn't going to be the prosecutor today.
What? Then who is?
Who else would it be but Godot?
Godot?
Franziska is engaged in some important work at the Sacred Cavern. The Sacred Cavern? You don't mean that she's... Exactly. She has been out there all night, trying to remove those trick locks. With the head nun's assistance, naturally. We estimate that the last of the locks should be taken care of in about 3 hours. I hope everything continues to go smoothly and we receive some good news soon.
Yeah, thanks, Edgeworth.
Roscoe, Godot, and Tess and this case shut today. Be prepared to fight like there's no tomorrow.
You don't have to tell me that.
Touché! I can only see it in your eyes. You are not the same fever-ridden, frantic maniac you were yesterday.
It's strange. On the way here, I decided that today would be the end of all this. Almost immediately after I made that decision, I felt myself getting stronger.
Interesting. Maybe you've passed your cold onto something else. Literally. And with that, I leave the rest in your capable hands, partner.
Thanks, partner. Now give me a kiss. I still don't have answers for most of the riddles playing in this case. The circumstances around the murder of Miss Elise Denham? No, I mean Miss Missy Faye. The impossible flight Larry claims to have seen. And what that woman is really after. I will solve them all and bring this whole tragedy to an end. Alright, Pearl?
Court is now session for the trial of Iris of Ascra Temple.
Your Honor. What are you?
Who? Me? Well, my little brother came to visit me in my chambers early this morning. All of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, he developed a scorching fever and fainted. Therefore, I'll be standing in for him.
I see, Your Honor.
So they're brothers. That explains a lot.
My poor brother, he looked a bit pale. Not to mention sad that he couldn't be here. It is impossible to predict what the future has in store for any of us. This is precisely why people feel a need to judge the past. And we of the court have been charged with the solemn duty of passing such judgment. Well said, Mr. Godot. I understood exactly what you said. At least up until the end, anyway. Now then, Mr. Godot, please proceed with the opening statement. Humans are fragile, fickle beings. Our hearts change with the shifting of the tides. There's only one thing that remains a constant in this crazy world. The bitter darkness that lies at the bottom of this mug. So then you mean... forget it. What do you mean? During yesterday's trial, the accused refused to admit her role in the crime. But today, she has had a change of heart. Sister Iris of Asgard Temple has a confession to make. Confession? The defendant?
Iris, why didn't she discuss this with me first?
Very well. This court will now hear the defendant's confession. I can't wait to hear this. I'm so glad that my brother is sick. Upon meeting a beautiful lady, I always ask for her name and profession. That's one of my rules.
My name is Iris. I am about to see Bernard undergoing training at the Hazakura Temple.
Witness, is there something that you want to confess to?
Yes, but first I want to apologize to Mr. Writer. I can't continue lying to everyone anymore.
It's alright. What is it?
Mr. Wright, I have to admit that I did play a part in this terrible incident.
Are you actually confessing? Are you saying that you were the one who murdered Miss Elise Denham?
No, I'm not, Your Honor. But I dealt with the cover-up after the murder took place. To her spirit raft, I took the rightful share of Mystic Arisa. And carried to Hazukura Temple courtyard where I desecrated it.
What? Oh, order in the court. Order. Witness, are you saying you were an accomplice to the murder?
Yes, that's correct. 3 minutes of court, I'm already covered in a cold sweat.
Everyone on the planet is an accomplice at some point. It just happens to be that in this case, it's a murder. Isn't that right, Mr. Trite?
Grr, that Godot. So this is the confession they were conferring about. It pains me to say this, but it looks like Iris' testimony was all a lie. Get that shit out of here.
Now then, little lady, if you don't mind, I've got a question for you. Whose crimes were you trying to cover up by your actions?
Iris was covering for someone?
And now I'm definitely up the creek without a paddle or a life jacket. I've been at Hazakura Temple ever since I was a little girl. Hazakura Temple is run by one of the French families of Korean tradition. One of our missions is to protect the main family.
I'm sorry, but main family?
Yes, that's why I will dirty myself if need to be to protect the daughter of the master of the Korean channeling technique, Mystic Maya Fei.
Wake up and smell like coffee, Trite.
She's naming Maya!
Order the court! So not only did you witness a murder, you know the name of the murderer?
I'm terribly sorry, but it's true. I saw her commit the crime with my own eyes, and then I cleaned up the area to try to protect her.
That's ridiculous. Mike could never do such a...
The events will refrain from commenting until the appropriate time. Now, witness, let's hear your testimony. What exactly happened on the night of the crime?
Yes, Your Honor.
I thought I was prepared for the unexpected, but I never imagined the case would wind up going in this direction.
I went to the inner temple that night and I saw it all happen in the garden. I saw Mr. Curry strike Mr. Maya with a staff. While Mr. Maya was still slumbering, Mr. Curry moved in to deliver a fatal strike. Mr. Maya tried desperately to defend herself and stole the weapon. It was only in self-defense. You can't blame her for it.
So it was a self-defense.
Yes, Mr. Caris was the one who attacked first. That's why I tried my best to protect Mr. Maya.
You moved the victim's body to the temple so that Mai wouldn't be suspected. Isn't that right? Not bad. You've got the instincts of a true criminal.
Something's not quite right. I'm sure it was established yesterday that Iris never went to the inner temple that night. And the person who did go was that woman. Iris even admitted it.
Now then, Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination.
Huh.
I went to the inner temple that night and saw it all happen in the garden.
Sister Iris, your testimony has changed quite a bit since yesterday. You stated yesterday that on the night of the murder, you didn't go to the inner temple.
Did she know? Did she know? Too bad for you. What she said yesterday doesn't mean much today. By the way, where were you when she claimed that she didn't go?
It was in the inner temple's training hall.
A private conversation between the two of you does not constitute testimony. That would be properly described as hearsay. What do you have to say, witness?
I just couldn't tell him the truth at the time. Mr. Maya, she's your girlfriend, isn't she?
Excuse me?
I didn't want to be the one to break it to you that I saw her commit murder.
There. We all understand how difficult this is for you. Now then, let's continue with the testimony. What did you witness in the temple garden?
Well, Your Honor, I saw Mr. Arisa striking Mr. Maya with her staff.
You're saying that the victim attacked Miss Faye?
Yes, it was a truly frightening scene. Mr. Maya was struck hard on the head and looked like she was going to collapse.
What were you doing at the time? Why didn't you stop them from fighting?
I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Red. I was frightened. I couldn't move. I couldn't even speak. I was in such shock.
That's perfectly understandable, my dear.
This doesn't sound right. I don't believe this testimony for a minute.
What happened after that?
While Mr. Maya was still slumbering, Mr. Aris moved into the river a fatal strike. Yeah!
She moved in to deliver a fatal strike?
Yes, I'm sure of it.
But she hadn't even built up her super meter yet.
She threw down her staff and reached into her robe for a weapon.
Wait a minute. What was this weapon?
It was some kind of dagger.
A dagger, huh? And at least them tried to stab her with this dagger. To kill Miss Faye?
Yes, exactly.
Huh.
You look like I did after I mistakenly took a swig of Worcestershire sauce. Do you have a problem with the testimony we're hearing from your client, lawyer boy?
Do I have a problem with Iris' testimony? There is one thing. Your Honor, I have a small problem with the witness's testimony.
You do? But this witness is your own client.
Yes, well, nevertheless.
That's fine. Witness, let's add your last statement to the testimony.
Yes, sir.
Hey, just a moment. It's my job to say that. Listen, Gramps. I won't say it again. Final judgment will be rendered by me. Okay, now let's continue.
She threw her staff away and pulled a dagger from inside her robe.
She threw her staff away?
Mr. Garis was trying to kill Mr. Maya. I think that's why she wanted a more lethal weapon.
It's true. It's not easy to inflict a deadly blow with the staff.
Sister Iris, let me make sure I've got this straight. The victim herself chose to throw away her staff?
Yes, that's what I saw.
Is there anything odd about that, Mr. Wright?
Yeah, it's odd, alright.
Mr. Iris attacked Mystic Maya with the dagger. I'm sure of this. Mystic Maya tried desperately to defend herself and stole the weapon.
And then?
Mystic Maya, she turned things around and then she used the weapon she had taken lunch for the sake. Yeah!
Witness, are you absolutely certain?
Yes, but believe me, she had no choice. Mystic Maya hadn't done something.
My face name would have been written on this autopsy report instead. Yes, I see.
This is bad. I still can't put the pieces together. Once I find a contradiction in her testimony, Maya's gonna get blamed for this.
I only have this to say. It was only in self-defense. You get to blame her for it.
So you're saying Maya Fey was the one who stabbed Miss Elise Denham? Sister Iris, is that really what you saw?
Yes.
Trite. If your mug is filled with black and bitter suspicions, the only way to get rid of them is to drink them down quick. Like this!
I know that's supposed to be a metaphor, but I don't get it.
There's only one thing you need to get, Trite. It's called evidence. Now hurry up before my next cup gets cold.
What does that mean? Is Godot waiting for me to point out the contradictions? I'd like to avoid the whole spirit channeling thing if I can. Not only would it be inadmissible as evidence, but I think it might actually hurt our standing with the judge. First, I need to pick her testimony apart and expose the unnatural sounding parts. I don't know why Iris would tell a story like this, but there are two things I noticed that just don't add up. Alright. She threw her staff away and pulled a dagger from inside her robe. That's strange, because the staff itself is a dagger. Or a sword. Sister Iris, there's something strange about your version of events.
Huh?
Miss Denham throwing her staff away makes no sense at all to me.
But all you can do with that stuff is hit someone.
Naturally, you wouldn't know this, Sister Iris, but the victim's staff had a special feature about it. As you can see, it's a sword. If Elise Denham really had wanted to kill Maya Fey, she wouldn't have needed to use a separate dagger. Not when she already had a beautiful blade in her hands already. Well, Sister Iris, what do you have to say?
That was an impressive bit of investigating, Trite. I never would have thought there was a sword hidden in that staff. But even so, how should I put this? A long sword is unwieldy, and thus quite ineffective in close combat. Maybe that's why she chose a dagger over her blade.
Well...
Anyway, the type of weapon she chose to use isn't what's important. The important thing is that she tried to kill Maya Fey. As long as there's nothing strange about that, there's no problem with her testimony.
But there is something strange about this whole testimony.
Well, Mr. Wright, the prosecution has a point.
Very well, Your Honor. The defense will now present evidence to back its argument.
Mr. Wright!
I have here another piece of evidence that shows that this testimony can't be trusted. Because Miss Elise Denham would never attempt to take the life of Maya Fey. Because of her real name. Elise Denham would never have attacked Maya Fey.
How can you be so sure?
Because the victim's real name was not Elise Denham. Her real name was Misty Fey.
Fey?
No, not Misty Fey.
Who is this Misty Fey? Is she related to...
Misty Fey is a master of the Korean channeling technique. She's also the mother of Maya Fey.
Are you serious?
Is it really true, Mr. Wright? Was Elise Denham actually the great Mystic Maxie?
There's no doubt about it. Looks like Iris had no idea.
I can hardly believe it.
The idea that she would try to kill her only daughter, one she hadn't seen in 17 years. Perhaps the prosecution can offer some explanation for why she would do such a thing?
Order the court. Upon first hearing of the witness's testimony, it seemed natural enough. However, in light of some facts that have just been presented, 1. That the victim supposedly threw away his sword during a fight, and 2. That the two people battling to the death were mother and daughter, despite the facts being unbelievable when taken on their own. When taken together, the entire story seems difficult to believe.
Listen, there's nothing in this world that is impossible, except for one little thing.
Yes? What is this one little impossible thing?
Huh. You still don't get it? You think maybe my beans are under-roasted, but you have no idea, Gramps.
Could you get to your point?
I heard this witness's confession this morning, just as I had taken the first sip of my 8th cup of morning coffee.
You're going to ruin your health, my friend.
Anyway, after hearing this woman's confession, I had a detective who loves to investigate sent to the crime scene. And he discovered this little beauty.
Is that the dagger that the witness testified to seeing?
Obviously, Your Honor. But do you not notice something else?
But now that you mention it, if you look closely, there appears to be blood on it.
But whose blood? Where'd you find that? I didn't see that when I was investigating the crime scene. Did you investigate the pine tree at the crime scene? Huh? The pine tree? This dagger was stuck in the backside of the pine tree. When the last blow was struck, ending the violent battle between the two women, this little baby was thrown in the direction of the back of the pine tree.
Which means the blood on this dagger belongs to the victim, correct?
Huh. Were you even listening, Gramps? I first heard this confession this morning, just as I had taken the first sip of my 13th cup of morning coffee.
You say it was your 8th just a few minutes ago?
I didn't have enough time to get to the blood analyzer in such short notice.
In any case, the court will accept the dagger as evidence. Furthermore, I order that a blood test be performed on it immediately.
This is my sweetheart. Make sure you treat her right.
Bailiff, get this piece of evidence to the crime lab for testing immediately. Now then, the testimony we just heard had numerous unbelievable aspects to it. However, after having found the very dagger the witness spoke of, I believe we can consider her testimony to be credible.
Cute girls never lie, ever.
In any case, witness, if you could please testify again to this court.
About what, Your Honor?
About the incident you saw, the battle between the two women.
Yes, Your Honor.